Hey everyone, and welcome back to Brian's Horror Movies for Life YouTube channel. And welcome back to my October 2025 Spooktacular. Um, so we're going to continue revisiting the Halloween franchise. And in this video, we're going to take a look at Rob Zombie's second Halloween movie, Halloween 2, which I have just like the original. I have both the director's cut, unrated director's cut DVD, as well as the theatrical version Blu-ray. And this is the one that I watched for this revisit, just as I did for the first one. And I can honestly say I do prefer the theatrical movies of both of these. So I'm not going to get rid of the unrated ones, but yeah, I definitely enjoy the theatrical version. So let's talk about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 2009. Um, this is an interesting movie because this is only the second time I've actually watched it all the way through, and obviously the first time I watched the unrated director's cut. And it's kind of hard to know how I feel about this movie because on one hand, I think I like it better than Rob Zombie's Halloween, his original from 2 years earlier. I just think it's more ballsy. It's more nothing is unwatchable like the first movie, where you have a whole first act that's unwatchable to me. Um, there's just a lot going on in this movie, and I kind of like it, even though it really does go off the rails. And well, let's just start with what I like about the movie. Um, I like the open, unlike the first Rob Zombie Halloween movie. I actually like the first act in this movie. I like the whole hospital setting and kind of how everything rolls out, where they really do a good job of fooling you. And you kind of think it's going to play out like Halloween 2, the original from 1981, to a certain extent. Um, but Rob Zombie doesn't go there. He kind of subverts our expectations, and I think that works pretty effectively for me anyway. I can understand some people not liking it, but I like it. I like the whole sequence. I like that um, it's a little bit of a tease. Um, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I just like all the atmosphere and everything part of that opening hospital sequence and everything. I really know how else to describe it. I just like it. It's very Halloweenish, very Halloween. Michael Myers stalking with the you got the rain and the weather and the atmosphere and Laurie Strode running for her life and other people are just getting completely brutally murdered. I mean, the amount of violence in this movie is unmatched by any other Halloween movie. We'll get more into that later. But I like the opening sequence, or the not the opening sequence. I like the first act, but really I like all three acts of this movie. Um, I think Scout Taylor Compton and Brad Dourif steal the show here. I think those two are the best performers in this movie. Danielle Harris, who's here again, is kind of relegated to much more of a side character, although it's still good to see her in the movie. Malcolm McDowell's character of Loomis is probably the one that takes the biggest shit from the first movie. Because, of course, in this movie, he's kind of a bloodthirsty, or a money thirsty, I should say. Michael's the bloodthirsty. Loomis is a money thirsty, trying to publish his own book and take advantage of what happened the year before, and not really giving a damn about anybody else in the town that's affected by his fame and what he's trying to accomplish. Although he does redeem himself at the end to a certain extent. But that character is definitely the one that took the biggest arc and not in a good way from the first Rob Zombie movie. Um, but yeah, I thought Scout Taylor Compton, I thought she gave an incredible performance, really. I don't think I appreciated it as much the first time I watched this movie in the unrated director's cut. But in the theatrical version, watching it again, she really has to go through some emotions in this movie, all the way through, from the beginning, which is basically the end of the first Rob Zombie Halloween movie, right to the end, where she gives us that creepy look, like this chick ain't ever gonna be right. That's the lasting image that we get at the very end there, and I thought she did well. And Brad Dourif, the whole scene when Annie is killed and he discovers her body, man, that's some great acting there. It's just you really feel it. You're in his shoes, and in some ways, as Halloween fans, Danielle Harris has been in five. Well, wait a minute, four of these movies. She should have been in five, but I'm not going to go there. And seeing her actually die on screen in a Halloween movie, it kind of gets to you a little bit. There's a connection there. There's some emotion involved there. Even though these movies that she's in here aren't at all connected to the Halloween movies she was in as a kid, Halloween 4 and 5, but still they're Halloween movies. It's Danielle Harris and she's playing a different character, but still I felt for her and I felt for him. And like I said, it was easy to step into his shoes and feel those kind of emotions, and he just does an incredible job. Um, this is the most brutal Halloween movie. There's no question about it. Michael Myers is so brutal in this movie, um, unforgiving, unrelenting. The amount of violence and kills that are displayed on screen here are they're almost they're almost too much in some ways. Like when he's killing a nurse in the hospital at the beginning, he stabs her like 18 times or something. Um, but pretty much every death is that way in this movie. It's definitely the most brutal Myers. Tyler Mane does a great job once again, even though in this movie he's only wearing the Michael Myers mask for about half the movie, and then he has it torn off. But actually, in a weird way, I kind of like that look. It almost makes him creepier. It almost makes him scarier when you can see like half of Tyler Mane's face with the long hair, and then you still got the Michael Myers mask. I know the first time I watched it, a lot of other people have said they didn't really like that. It's like he's not even wearing a mask, but I don't know. Maybe the theatrical version gave me a different look or a different perspective, but I actually kind of liked it, to be honest with you. Um, but yeah, Myers is just brutal in this movie. So if you're somebody that just wants to tune in for the kills, the most brutal and gory kills that you could have in a Michael Myers Halloween movie, then you could do a lot worse than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Um, what else do I want to say from a positive standpoint? Um, everything that Lori kind of goes through kind of makes sense. Where obviously she's struggling big time because of what happened in the first movie. So she's got a lot of mental problems, and she's basically going off the rails at the end, and then she really goes off the rails at the very end. One would assume anyway by what we're given there. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll think of some more things later, but let's talk about what I don't like about this movie. As a lot of people have said, the white horse shit. Don't need it. It's not part of a Halloween movie. I just found that to be very lame, and I still find it to be lame upon rewatch here. I think it's really just Rob Zombie's way to get his wife Sherry Moon Zombie screen time again. I don't know if they have some kind of prenup or arrangement when they got married or something that she has to star in all of his movies or have so much screen time. I don't really know what the deal is there. I have nothing against her specifically. It's just that it feels like he created that character unnecessarily just to give her screen time. And the whole white horse, just no, 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 no. Michael Myers doesn't need that. This movie almost has more of like a possession, hallucination kind of, especially the second half, the third act, but much more of a hallucination and almost supernatural thing going on. And that's just for a Michael Myers Halloween movie. That's just weird, and I don't think it really works as well as it could have. That being said, I didn't hate the ending of this movie, where obviously Laurie Strode's character, or Angel Myers, as she's known in this movie, which she finds out in Dr. Loomis's book, um, kind of takes. I mean, they kind of they kind of infer that she's now going to take Michael's place, and she's obviously with what she went through in the first movie and this movie. There's no hope for her really. It's kind of, and she hallucinates her mom, and the white horse at the end, and I didn't hate that, even though I didn't like the white horse thing. I thought the very end was very effective and creepy, and I thought Scout Taylor Compton gave a really creepy and effective look at the end, right before it rolled the ending credits. But I didn't care for any of that stuff. Plus, this movie feels like it was trying to set the record for the most f bombs dropped in a movie. I didn't keep count, but there's got to be. I think every character in this movie says the F word at least 3 times minimum, and that's the ones that get killed off right away. Otherwise, you got the guy at the beginning that when the van crashes into the cow and Michael escapes, that he's trying to remember how many times he's supposed to say it. He's like, So that's just Rob Zombie stuff. And again, I'm not offended by the F word, but I mean, you're trying a little bit too hard there. I felt like they really were in this movie. Um, yeah, I don't know, guys. This isn't a Halloween. If I'm in the mood for a Michael Myers Halloween movie, like on Halloween night, this probably isn't going to be high on the list of those that I pick. However, if I'm in the mood for just a horror movie, just a brutal slasher slash, I don't know, supernatural horror movie, then you could do a lot worse than this one. I don't know how other people feel, but I do not hate Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie. I actually do like it more than the original. I can say that having watched the theatrical versions now this go around. But I know a lot of people hate it, and I understand the reasons for it. So I'm not going to poo-poo them, to each their own. But go ahead and comment down below your guys' thoughts on Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie from 2009. Are you one that hates it and doesn't want to acknowledge it? Do you like it okay? Do you really like it? I wouldn't say that I love it, but I do like it. I can appreciate it. Rob Zombie took some big swings in this movie, and I thought his direction was even better than the first one because it's a little bit more his own movie. Now, there's both good and bad with that. You still got the crappy written dialogue and everything, of course. That doesn't really work as in typical Rob Zombie fashion. Um, but I don't know. I like it. I like it as a horror movie more than a Halloween Michael Myers movie. So it is what it is. Go ahead and comment down below your guys' thoughts on Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Please like this video, hit the little notification bell, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It would really help me out, and it'll help you out because you won't miss any of my upcoming reviews or content beyond Halloween. With that being said, I hope everybody's doing well. We got 1 week left before Halloween. Hope you're having a good October, but as always, stay scared. Bye.